hope you found that all interesting. And indeed, as we said before, this event is being recorded, and the recording will be put on the event website, so CHE 2020, the one where you found out all the information about what was going on. Now, unfortunately, time has flown by and we're coming to the end of proceedings. In the next half an hour, we're going to hear some closing remarks from several speakers, and then we're going to conclude with some thank yous before ending the afternoon with a bit of music from the Club Ithaca Band. So now I'd like to invite Wanda Reitsma. Wanda, we'd like to hear from you. Obviously, it's an important moment for you to pass on the baton. And so would you like to leave us with your closing remarks?
Thank you, Amanda. First of all, I want to thank you and Guido to do this wonderful job today by guiding us through the day. And I'm looking back on a great day, and I'm very curious how many people have followed the conference, but many bought a participant voucher, but many more have followed the conference, I'm sure. So maybe Club Ithaca will do some inquiry afterwards. I'm looking back for a great day, and I want to say thank you for that. It was my last conference as a chair, but maybe in the future I will visit as a visitor. Tomorrow we have one more Clubhouse Europe activity, and it will be the general meeting. It will be not that big meeting, but there is one major event, and that's the election of the board. And I want to announce that we have 6 candidates for the board, and the names are Cindy Hamersma, she's a member of Clubhouse de Waterheuvel; Nina Bak, she is a member of Clubhouse Rige in Norway. We have Asko Hanninen, a very well-known member of the Clubhouse Europe board. Emily from Gibraltar, also a veteran in our board. And then we have Guido Valentini, who have candidate himself. And do I always forget someone? Okay, 2, 3. Guido, do I forget the candidate? No.
Well, 6 candidates. You said, I think you said all the candidates. I can't hear you anymore. Wander just freeze his line. We can wait him to come back.
Before you jump in, Anita, I was going to just show a video because we've got a thank you video from Oliviero Pesce.
You want to show it first?
Yes,
yeah, okay.
Yes.
Let's go with
so let's hear his final remarks.
At the end of our conference, I wish to express my gratitude to all of you who attended and supported us and made of this event a fruitful and successful meeting. A strange meeting indeed in these difficult circumstances in which we're all compelled to avoid contacts, to avoid sharing, to minimize conviviality, which are indeed the very essence of our lives and of the aims of our joint action. Today, I cannot even invite you to have a safe journey home. To leave one another, we just need to switch off the power button. So mine tonight is not a goodbye, but a farewell. Let us meet again as soon as possible in the real world. And a warm thank to all of you for sharing the conference. Thank you.
I must say, Guido, we've now got Wanda back on. Before I go to our final 2 speakers, do you want to just clear up that thing with the with everything with the nominations and everything?
Oh, yes. The candidates for membership of the board, of the new board that will be elected tomorrow, are 6, as Wander was saying. We have Emily Adembrey. Emily is the director of the Clubhouse in Gibraltar, and for many years she has been already member of the board of Clubhouse Europe. Then we have Nina Beck. Nina already participates in the present board as advisor. Nina is an active member and member of the board of Clubhouse Rige in Norway. Then we have Joel Corcoran. Joel is the director of Clubhouse International and is member of the board of Clubhouse Europe from the very beginning. Then we have Cindy Hamersma. Cindy is member of the board of Clubhouse Den Waterheuvel in Amsterdam. Cindy is also member of the faculty of Clubhouse International. Then we have Esko Heninen. Esko is one of the founding fathers, I say Socrates for us, because he's one of the founding fathers of Clubhouse Europe and member of the board from the very beginning. Esko is also member of the board of the Finnish coalition. And last but not least, myself as a candidate, and Vander, he was saying this. Vander,
Yes.
I see you again here with us. Are you?
Yeah, there was some, I don't know, I was kicked out, but I will keep it short. A year ago, I asked Guido, is he available for a position in Clubhouse Europe? And he said, if the position of chair or president will come available, I will be available. So I can announce that if nothing strange will happen, that Guido will be the next president of Clubhouse Europe. Because I know the board members who are elected tomorrow, and I know what they want for president. So Guido, I think you will be it. That was my secret. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for all your good words for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Wanda. That was very good. Guido, you're looking embarrassed. So
Yes.
I think I'm going to move on, and I'd like to introduce our last speakers, and they're going to give us a double-headed double act. So we're going to hear from them together. We have Anita Brix, who's a European Program Officer with Clubhouse International, and she's logging on from her base in Denmark. And we also have Lee Kellogg, Program Officer at Clubhouse International, who's online from Michigan in the UK. So I'm now going to leave you. The virtual floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Minder. And hello, everyone. And great that you're zooming in today on this conference day. I know that we have all been very excited to join today. And as Aminda said, I'm here with my colleague Lee from Clubhouse International, and we have been excited about the opportunity to follow the conference today that is hosted by Club Ithaca in Rome. And we have also followed all the great interviews leading up to this day of being together in this virtual Clubhouse sphere. It's been a joy to spend the day with you, with our Clubhouse friends, and with Club Ithaca in Rome, and with you, Mindy. Thank you for guiding us safely through this day. But I just have to say that we're also really looking forward to actually seeing your faces on an on-site Clubhouse gathering, hopefully in the nearest future.
Hello, everyone. Since March, we have all been forced to find other ways of being together than our regular days in the Clubhouse, working together side by side. This has been challenging for many, and sometimes we get so focused on the heavy, dark clouds overhead that we forget to notice that there are actually beautiful rays of hope and light peering out from within the darkness. Even in the midst of all the tough stuff that is happening in each of our lives and our towns and countries, if you squint, you can also make out some rays of splendid light and hope. Here are a few of the rays of Clubhouse light that we have noticed over the past few months. Number one, in the midst of this pandemic, we found out that Clubhouse really does work even more powerfully and deeply than we understood before this. When the pandemic hit, our clubhouses had a full-on experience that our communities are truly strong, resilient, life-saving, and life-affirming. And we also found out that the depth of our connection is not about the stability of the foundations of our buildings, but the stability of the foundation of our relationships. One of the ways we know that Clubhouse International worked with partners from Club Ithaca Roma, Magnolia Clubhouse, Fountain House, Michigan State University, and Wayne State University to develop and disseminate a survey several months into this pandemic. And many of your European clubhouses participated in that. We appreciate that. From the more than 5,000 responses to the survey, we learned that the vast majority of Clubhouse members did not experience any significant change in their mental or physical health as a result of the pandemic. And they attributed that to the powerful support that they continued to receive from their Clubhouse communities, even when they were physically closed down. That is really amazing. There is so much in the news every day about the huge emotional toll the pandemic is having on everyone, and especially people living with mental illness. But we are finding out that Clubhouse relationships run deep, deeper even than we could have known before we faced these extraordinary times. Clubhouse communities have shown that they are like strong, caring, resilient, cohesive, extended families for members. And that is exactly the kind of web of support that makes the difference between hope and despair, and sometimes even between life and death. What other kind of mental health program could make that kind of difference in people's lives?
So the second ray of hope is that right away, the emergency of the pandemic showed us that our reach out system weren't good enough. And we were set to work to fix them. So Clubhouses quickly figured out how to reach more people more consistently and more genuinely and more personally. So this is going to have a deep and lasting impact on our Clubhouse members for years to come. Before COVID, we hadn't been forced into squeezing every last drop out of the power of reach out. Lots of Clubhouses used to do reach out, but as just one of the many tasks on the whiteboard of the daily unit tasks. People would sign up to do reach out in the same way as they signed up to chop vegetables. But when COVID hit and reach out became the Clubhouse community literal lifeline, Clubhouses woke up to more fully to the reality that people are not vegetables. People need genuine, personal, human contact that is rooted in the real relationship to make a meaningful difference in their lives. Reach out just doesn't work well enough when it's relegated to just another impersonal task on the task board. But so Clubhouses quickly kicked into higher gear, realizing that the flimsy system many of them had in the place were not adequate to provide a strong enough lifeline to so many people who were now in such obviously and potentially dangerously isolated situation. Clubhouses around the world mounted effort to find ways to reach out to every member, both active and inactive members, and to make a connection that went deeper than a quick check-in. They found ways to get phones, iPad, computers to members and to make sure members knew how to use them. Clubhouses found that lots and lots of members who had been inactive, some for a very long time, were now being drawn back into the virtual Clubhouse community. Amazingly, even when so many Clubhouses buildings were closed, these newly fortified reach out efforts were pumping new blood into the life-giving relationships that are the foundation of Clubhouses. So in addition to a commitment to making contact with every Clubhouse members on a regular basis, during the pandemic, Clubhouses has also been learning how to make reach out more meaningful and therefore more effective. We have been hearing some terrific and creative ways of connecting. And one of those I love comes from a member, Stine from Fontenehuset in Gjøvik in Norway. So Stine got to the heart of the reach out matter when everything started closing down in March, knowing that a true Clubhouse community is about the community that the immediate critical was needed to make meaningful connections with everyone who had been suddenly hurled into the COVID-19 isolation. Stine came up with a plan with the online social gamer platform called Discord. She, within a few weeks, had more than 100 people from all of the Norwegian clubhouses connected with each other on this platform. Stine told us about experiencing getting new friendships and talking to people every day in Discord. And the feedback from the community was very appreciative for this initiative to connect across the clubhouses in the country of Norway.
This brings us to Ray of Hope number 3. We found out in a new way that our clubhouse community is bigger than each individual clubhouse. When the pandemic hit, Clubhouse International scheduled online meetings with all of the clubhouse coalitions and loose networks of clubhouses all over the world. This was kind of like the reach out that each clubhouse does, but on steroids. The clubhouses on the calls were hungry for connections with each other, just like clubhouse members have been hungry for reach out connections with their clubhouse friends. The coalitions themselves recognized this need and soon started meeting amongst themselves more frequently than they had before, looking for each other's support, advice, experience, and strategies for survival in this new and difficult and complicated environment. And now, growing out of this, Clubhouse International is planning to institute a new Clubhouse International working group, which will be a Clubhouse Coalitions group. The Coalitions group will capitalize on this burgeoning new level of communication and networking that is percolating throughout the Clubhouse world, bringing together representatives from coalitions everywhere to share ideas, strategies, and experience, and to join voices together to amplify the increasingly important voice of the international community. So get ready, European Clubhouse. Your voices are important in the world.
And the last for now, the rays of hope number 4, that we have all stumbled into this new, exciting, limitless universe of technology and all of the possibilities this opens to us. Yes, we got pushed into this by a lousy pandemic, but because of that, we are discovering ways of connecting with each other that we never thought of before. So yeah, COVID has been a nightmare, but it has also been a blessing in disguise. We've been pushing into using technology to communicate with each other, and we are learning how to make it work for us. Of course, we will be thrilled when we no longer have to depend on seeing each other as a two-dimensional box on a screen. But the fact that we now know that we can do this is going to shatter boundaries, limitation, and what once seemed to be like unbridgeable distances. So, for example, at Clubhouse International, as a result of this pandemic, we are currently working on a process to deliver a remote accreditation visit. We are planning to create a variety of different kinds of virtual training. Because of this, in the near future, we can truly imagine how clubhouses in remote part of the world might actually be able to become actively engaged in Clubhouse network, training, and maybe even accreditation.
So yeah, COVID has been a nightmare, but it has had a silver lining. The gifts we've received and the lessons we have learned over these last months have the potential to have lasting, powerful, and transforming repercussions for our worldwide Clubhouse community in the months and years to come. You know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If that is true, then it seems as if, after all of this, our Clubhouse communities are going to be way strong. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've been listening to you very carefully. I think it's true, this COVID situation is a nightmare. Eventually, human beings are very adaptive and creative, and so we create the information communication technologies, and we are finding our way out also in this pandemic. So I have great hope from every one of us here to all of you there. Thank you.
And in fact, it's interesting, you know, the rays of hope, I think were a very upbeat way to end this conference. And I think I'd like to add to the rays of Clubhouse light that we were hearing. Also, the thing that we heard this morning earlier on from Pauli, that the Clubhouse model is a piece of gold in our hands. And so now we have a piece of gold, an array of light. Let's make it shine beyond here. And with that, I think it's time for us to, unfortunately, bring the thing to a close.
I don't know if Vander has to say something again, or I saw him leading the hand.
No, I said enough. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, when we are closing this 16th Clubhouse Europe conference, we of course want to thank a few people behind the scenes who've been working so hard to make it happen. So first of all, I'd like to say a big thanks to the event sponsors, Janssen Cilag and Lundbeck Italia.
Thanks to the Clubhouse Europe and Clubhouse International.
Thanks to Club Ithaca for offering their premises for our control room.
You're welcome. And thanks to all the organizing team and to IGA Worldwide Conference and Events. Thanks to Mindy for your great support and your professionality. I really appreciate it. I imagine all of us appreciate it. I would like, please let me give a great thanks to all the technicians that are helping us. You don't see them, but are just behind the screen there. Thanks to Laura, Emma,
It's
Marina,
currently 15:15
Gaia,
with a current
and
temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. Today's low is 13 degrees.
I can hear some phone going on or something. This is the el bello della diretta. You say in English.
This is the wonderful thing about being live. Things happen and you don't expect it.
Yes, yes. I was saying some of the ones that helped me and help us to organize all this. Please have my big hug to thank you. Aminda?
Thank you. I'm going to add my thanks to our expert technicians, Enrico and Francesco, who are behind the cameras, and they made sure that we could all see each other and hear each other, which was not exactly easy. Thank you.
Yes. Next step, I would say, we are going to have next European Clubhouse conference in 2 years, because we do it every 1 year and then. And who knows where we are going to meet? For sure, we are going to meet in live.
In person, yes. Certainly within 2 years.
Yes.
But it would be nice even if it was next year. But next year, we can be anticipating it.
Oh, I don't know. We will see.
Looking forward to the pleasure.
Yes, we're looking forward. I hope in Rome next time, I hope people come here in Rome, because today is a beautiful day. Outside there is a sunshine, and I'm so sad that we missed this opportunity here.
But we made it happen online, and as we heard from Anita and from Lee, this actually helps us. And while it's not perfect, it's certainly better than nothing. So obviously the final thank you goes to you, the audience. We really appreciate you spending all the time logging in online. We know it's not easy to follow. Thank you for all your hard listening, for sending in questions, and for actively participating. Let's hope that everyone will be able to meet up again in person very soon. And to round off the day in a happy and a cheerful way, we're going to have the Club Ithaca Band to play us out. Enjoy the music, and we look forward to seeing you next time. And from Guido and from myself,
a great goodbye. Bye.